Hello, my name is Kathy, and today I will be talking to you about my evaluation of an informed consent document for a family therapy center in Raleigh, North Carolina. I chose this document for two reasons. The first reason is because it is an area that I would eventually like to study and to serve in, which is family therapy. The second reason is because of the length of the document. If we are honest, how many times do we go to a doctor's office or an appointment and they give us a handful of documents to complete? And then at the very end, we see a document with a bunch of words, and just at the end, it has a place where we sign. How many times have we truly read through all the information and really paid attention to it? Well, the office feels that it is justified because it has given the information to the client, but has the client really read through the information or the consent that it was given? Probably not. As I dissected the 3-page informed consent, it was no surprise to me that it was missing a few parts. This made me wonder, how many times do counselors actually follow what the ACA Code of Ethics Section A2A informed consent states about counselors having the obligation to review in writing and verbally within the client's rights and responsibilities of both the counselor and the clients? And how many times is there a continued conversation of responsibilities throughout the counseling relationship? According to the ACA Code of Ethics, Section A2B, which explicitly instructs the information needed, the informed consent provided by the practice in Raleigh is not completely compliant. The document has a brief opening paragraph notifying the client that trust is of essence and that there will be an opportunity for any questions or concerns to be addressed prior to beginning therapeutic services. The client is also warned that once the consent is signed, it will become a binding agreement. The second section of the consent is titled The Process of Therapy and Evaluation. The section starts with the encouragement of active participation on behalf of the client, including some thought-provoking sessions. The client is reminded that results are not guaranteed, although the benefits are discussed. The client is informed that by law, he is entitled to information about the methods of therapy, the techniques, and details related to sessions. Some of the approaches are mentioned in the informed consent. However, there isn't a great deal of information. The section ends with the client being invited to ask questions for more information if it's needed. The next section addresses the possible need for referral to other professionals, ending counseling relations. The counselor specifically mentions boundaries of competence. Office policies are also addressed next. This section discusses payment and fees, cancellations and late arrivals, overdue policies, payments, and insurance claims. The email policy, emergencies, telephone contacts, and litigation limitations are also discussed. According to ACA Code of Ethics, this document is missing the counselor's qualifications, credentials, and any relevant experience. Noticeably absent as well is what the plan is for communication of services should the counselor die or become incapacitated, or what is to be done with discarded or discontinued care files. The last page of the consent discusses confidentiality. The document specifies that information will be shared with other professionals regularly, and the professionals have access to limited confidential information. Circumstances where disclosure is regular are mentioned. couple and family therapy procedure is discussed, and finally, the rights of custodial parents have to be informed about information shared by children under the age of 18. In conclusion, this document ends by providing the full name of the therapist and the license number, and the phone number and the direct web link to the North Carolina Marriage and Family Therapy License Board, where clients can file legal complaints. The number to file a grievance with the Department of Health and Human Services is also provided at the end of this document. My assessment of this informed consent is that it was carefully prepared to address most of the issues mentioned in Section A to B in the Code of Ethics. I think the fact that the statement, questions and concerns can be discussed before beginning therapy, and periodically you will be asked for feedback, covers the therapist as far as any missing information. It was just used to cover them. However, the two missing pieces, as far as the credentials and perhaps what can be done with the files, or what will happen to the files once discontinuation of the services, are information that can easily be asked and be known once the client asks. So I don't necessarily know that this document is incomplete, out of order, I would say. However, he might look for further consultation to maybe update it in the future. But as far as compliance, I would say those are minor areas. The Code of Ethics suggests that these are all topics that should be addressed. I think the biggest thing that he did include is the number or the place where grievances and complaints can be added. I think that was probably the best information that he could have added to the document. I briefly glanced at a few other documents and quite a few other ones did not include that information. Thank you very much.